Okay, hello there, morons. It's Victor and Little Godzilla. Look at the camera, buddy. Look at the camera right there. That's right. And it's been a long time since you've seen him on camera. You can see he's now you can kind of stand up a little bit, well, leaning against me. He's doing okay. This is not a kid vlog. It's not about the baby, so feel free to ignore him. Don't even look at him if he gets in your way. I just want to talk a little bit about my life because that's what we attempt to do here, vloggers. This is going to be an unedited video. I'm just going to throw this up. I actually have a comedy show in 2 hours. I'm the MC. As I've told you before, I used to do a stand-up comedy. I'll be meeting my friends Mark, Miles, a new guy who I actually don't even remember his name. I better look it up. And Tom Fallon from Ghost of Matsubara. I'll be leaving him behind, of course. But I wanted to, I guess, tell you about some of the troubles. Troubles, how do I say this? Well, an educational video about what it's like to have a baby and the things I learn. Now, I do have a book called What to Expect When You're Expecting, which I got to be honest, haven't really read too much. I've flipped through it a little bit. I'm having a lot of fun, and as I've mentioned before, I like learning from my mistakes. I like discovering things that are surprising and then looking into them later. I suppose I should probably do a little more research when it comes to these guys. Oh, you're really standing up. He's 7 months old now, and this video is not so much about him, but is about my life right now. And what's going on? Well, little catch up. So as you may have heard if you watched my video a few days ago, well, the last video actually, it's about gluten. I have since lost 4 kilograms, which I think is pretty amazing, but I expect is probably the initial weight loss. That's pretty easy usually, right? Especially because I had hit my maximum weight of 97.5 kilograms. I'm now to back down to 93.3, right? And trying to exercise every day. Didn't today because it was raining. I know, excuses. I'm gonna exercise tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going on a big bike ride. I'm actually going up to meet Rachel and June. I hope they don't mind me saying. Oh, I actually bought this because Rachel and June, I know, are big Star Wars fans. So we're thinking about having a Halloween party. I don't know if that's going to go on, but I'm trying to lose weight, as you guys know, and I lined Rachel and June today, and they offered to make me food if I come up and visit them. I'm going to go up and visit them on my bicycle. They live quite a bit of ways from me. So I thought, how inconsiderate that he offered to make me food. Can't you see I'm a fat? I'm trying to lose weight. Of course, I'm joking, June, but maybe I'll ask him to make me. Well, if I don't have breakfast, sure, why not? Yeah, protein. Get up there, bicycle all the way up there, full of protein. I'm thinking of going up with Mark, crazy German cyclist. Mark is back in town. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Or somebody link the videos below. I don't have time enough to throw this up. Yeah, crazy. And he came to my school today. He came to my school today. Must enunciate better. He came to my school today wearing a short mini frilly skirt. And this kind of stuff doesn't faze me at all anymore. I'm completely accepting of Mark. I don't know what it means, the mini skirt or the female cosplay. It really has nothing to do with his personality, as far as I can tell. As a human being, we just talk. You know, there's no sexual aspect to our conversation. Should I be talking about this in front of him? But he's a good guy. But I'm always surprised at how other people react to him, and often disappointed. Some students are like freaked out, like, "Oh my God, you know, what a freak," kind of thing. And I'm impressed that he doesn't care, and that he, you know, he makes his he does his thing. You know, he travels around taking his pictures, being happy, doing his best to be happy, which is really all we want, isn't it? Now this morning, I've been, I don't know if you guys know, but I work quite a bit. I have various endeavors. One of these, of course, being YouTube. One of them being my own school. And I have contracts at businesses as well where I go. So I keep pretty busy. As you know, my wife is not working now. And this is one of the things I learned earlier in life is human beings have a tendency to think they wash the most dishes in the house. And let me explain this to you. If you're sitting in a house, if you're living in a house with other people, everyone seems to think that they do the most work. In this case, they wash the metaphor is they wash the most dishes. And of course, I suppose I'm guilty of that, in that I'm not spending so much time just holding him, which in Japanese, by the way, is called kosodate, I believe. Sodatsu. So kosodate, ko is child, sodate is to raise. So basically raising the child, kosodate. I've mentioned this in previous videos. I've learned quite a few words about kids, right? Another one, of course, is negaeri, which means turning over. When the baby can finally get onto his own, turn over onto his stomach. Yeah, when they're always lying on their back like this, right? And when the baby can finally, learn to turn over, then, hey, look at that. He likes that, right? Yay! Okay. Oh, really sad story. A 1-year-old in, I believe in Aichi, in the prefecture where I live, died this morning because she was shaken to death. And it was actually a word I'd never heard, but I could tell from the kanji. The first kanji is you. Oh God, I forgot. I'll try to remember and throw it into the comments later or the description. Please remind me if you're watching this later, and come back and see. But to shake someone to death, and a poor child, a year old, and the parents shook him to death. So yeah, and it got me to thinking about our own. This is funny. This actually happened before my own little problem this morning, which I'm getting to. But of course, my wife has no job now, which is not fair to say. Even that alone is not true, right? Because she's taking care of him, and he takes a lot of effort, and you have to be constantly, looking at him, taking care of him, making sure he doesn't get into trouble. He's at the point now where he can grab things, and he does grab things all the time, and he's having a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, back to this. So, as I'm leaving the house today to go to work, after spending most of the morning editing a video, she said, "Do you think you're doing enough kosodate?" And I thought to myself, great. Just as I'm leaving the house, which is kind of typical in every couple has their own pattern of squabbles, and that's ours. She's annoyed. She'll wait until the last minute to tell me when we can't really have a conversation about it, and I have to leave. So I told her, and I guess I'm not. I don't know how much is enough, but And of course, my defense is I'm working my ass off. But I talked to Hiko Simon, who is younger than I am, but of course he's been a father longer, so he has much more practical advice. And the fact of the matter is, women are crazy. No. Of course not. They're not all. No. Well, some of them are, of course. But women are stressed mothers are stressed from taking care of babies. So we've got to be more understanding, even if on occasion what they seem to do seems illogical or a little what's the word, unreasonable. Yeah. So yeah, and of course there are also the thing known as hormones, which, as you guys know, pretty much controlled our teen lives, right buddy? It's going to control your teen lives too eventually. So yeah, so I realized, after cooling off a little bit, that despite how much money I think I'm able to bring in and pull, how many dishes I'm able to wash that way, that's not really how you judge things or measure things. So I've got to try to give her a break sometime. And I'm not, you might be thinking, well, Victor, you're kind of cheating now because you're making a video. Actually, I want to share that with you. I just want you, some of you who do not have children, or who have children will verify this, will give you better advice maybe. Or if you disagree, please feel free to chime in by leaving a comment. But those of you who do not have children yet, I think it's even harder when you're younger. So the woman this morning, I'm assuming a woman, it's a woman because, I don't know, because I'm a sexist son of a bitch, but I'm assuming it was a woman who killed her 1-year-old today on TV. Being stressed out by being with the child all the time, trying to get him to shut up. And I guess, if you're young, you've got to remember that there's a lot of, you've got to take a breath, you got to take a break. You've got to cooperate more with your husband and wife. If they're not cooperating, then don't take it out on the baby. Maybe that's what happened to her. If you are a husband, and I'm reaching you, or a future husband, then yeah, swallow your pride, swallow the logical you know, reasoning that you think you have is not actually logical, because you're dealing with a person who's with a baby all day, and on top of that, her hormones are still, you know, post what's it called, natal, what's it, postnatal, I don't know, what is it, post birth hormones. Anyway, hormones are quite a nefarious substance, but it's what got you into this trouble in the first place, right? So take it easy on each other if that's the case. In the end, you know, all of that, you're going to get in a silly fight over something that you're just going to get over later, so don't stress it out. But we didn't get in a fight, but well, okay, maybe a little fight. But we did have an argument, and I cooled off, and I canceled. I was going to go to Burger King today with a couple students, Tomoko of course, and KB, and maybe Egg, and today's the first day of the new hamburger. But you know, you've got to prioritize, and it's not like a big sacrifice, of course. It's just a hamburger, which they don't really get that many views anyway. But you know, you come back and try to help out a little bit more. And anyway, I'm off to a comedy show very soon. My wife's going to take this guy off to her cousins who are just in town from Tokyo visiting. So luckily everyone has something to do, right? I'm gonna have fun. I'm just the MC, so I'm just introducing a little bit. But I've written a few jokes, or prepared a few statements that I will say. I don't know if anyone's going to be recording this evening, but it should be fun. Wearing a top hat. And I'm going to wear a USA American Captain American T-shirt, so nobody confuses me as Canadian, because you know that's the worst thing that can happen to you if you're an American, to be confused as Canadian. Unless chicks are involved and they like Canadians, then go for it, buddy. Everything's fair in love and war. All right. Okay, that's my video. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you are all doing well, all happy and healthy. And even if you don't have kids, if you have anyone that you have to deal with all the time, then yeah, try to be a little bit more understanding of their situation. And I will do the same with my family, as I'm learning to be a more efficient and better father. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you guys soon. Say goodbye. Bye, guys. Say goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You say it? Yeah? No? Okay.